Okay, very warm welcome to everybody here, very warm welcome at home to the last week of the Spring Cleanse Your Mind Meditation Challenge. Yay! So well done if you've you've been engaging with that. I'd love to know how it's gone for everybody. For me, it's been a real journey. I've really loved the movement through the different meditation practices. I've loved the Discord channel and connecting with people and seeing people's inspiration, and being here with the team's been a real highlight as well. And also I've been kind of tapping into my own teacher, Maitri Bandhu's teachings to inspire me for the series. So I kind of feel like I've been in connection with him as well throughout the 6 weeks. So it's been personally really satisfying. And it might be for you a journey that you've kind of got on and got off, and got on and got off several times, or maybe you have meditated every day for the 6 weeks. But however you've engaged, I'm sure that you've learned something more about yourself, about your heart and your mind. Like in the depths, in the heights, and in the sheer kind of banality of a lot of what goes on as well, to be honest. So that if you have done that, that exploration really needs to be honoured, tended to. It needs to be cultivated like a garden, so that kind of beauty and these fruits of these type practices can really manifest more and more fully. So how it's structured, hasn't it? It's been 2 weeks of awareness. We've been doing 2 weeks of the Metta Bhavana, and then last week we started with wisdom practices, and we looked at dukkha, this sense of unsatisfactoriness. And we didn't do that in order to kind of depress ourselves and think that like everything is terrible. We did it to explore this potential for freedom, freedom from clinging and kind of tensioning against life. So tonight it seems very crazy, very ambitious to fit in the last 2 wisdom practices into one of thousands of years of wisdom practice we're going into, which we'll pack it all in tonight. But it'll be fine because the one follows on from the other. We're going to look at impermanence, and by extension, we're going to look at the insubstantiality of self or self-identity. So if you don't know me, and if you may be tuning for the first time, hello, I'm an order member called Maitri. I practice within the True Buddhist order. I'm a teacher here at Brixton. And be interested to hear who is out there, where you are, even if you want, how you're doing as well. Let us know who's out there. So tonight, what we're going to be doing, as always, is just doing this little breathing space, just so we really can turn up to the evening, regardless of whatever else has been going on through the day, whether it's been going well or whether it's not been going well. We're just going to see if we can contact something that allows us to be here more fully. And then we're going to hear from Cam. Delighted to hear from Cam, who's going to be talking about what meditation means to him, and then we'll get into these wisdom practices of impermanence and insubstantiality, and then we'll, as usual, we'll have a guided meditation on those themes. Okay, so let's settle in for a short breathing space. So just get yourself comfortable on whatever surface you're on. From a chair at home or sofa, it's fine. Or maybe on the meditation cushions, like we are here. And once you close your eyes, just kind of bring that intention to bear to kind of what's going on. So what's happening now? You can hear sounds maybe more clearly, more layered, textured sound around you. Sense of space. And then within all of that, we can feel ourselves, we can feel our body, sensations of the body. Some parts of the body we can feel more vividly, they show up more, and other parts we can't feel so much. And then feeling that contact with the ground. And starting to let go the weight of the body, the weight of your body down into that contact with the ground. We don't need to hold on so tightly. And just letting everything from the waist down just sink into the ground, settle into the ground. Just noticing any gripping, any holding on, just letting that go. And let go in the tummy. And the shoulders. Face, around your eyes, forehead, your mouth. Everything softening. And now just feeling the breath. It's been there all along. Just letting the breath calm your body. And just taking in again the atmosphere around you. The weight of your body. And a sense of being here with others, practicing together, being together, mysteriously here through this online possibility. Okay, good. So I shall hand over to Karen. Very interested to hear what Karen has to say. Over to you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Yeah, I want to just say thank you to, I was really reflecting on everybody else's talks while I was thinking about what I wanted to say, and how, yeah, it's been really nice to sort of take those ideas and bring them into my own practice. So I really appreciate the time that you put into those for guiding that. So I guess to understand what meditation means to me, I want to talk a bit maybe about how I got here. I kind of have no idea. It feels a bit like it was luck sometimes, and I can think of my life kind of in three major parts. So the first part was leading up until I was 17 and my father passed away. And then part two was this middle part, which was very boisterous and really exciting and very unskillful. And yeah, I really partook in a lot of things that were so materialistically pleasurable, like work and shopping and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of drinking. And yeah, it was kind of like anything that would really just help me get that dopamine hit to like glide into the next day. I can really describe that period of time. And I'd like to say that I was blissfully unaware, but there was so much discomfort and so much suffering that came with that lack of awareness that I had. So it was tough. After my father passed away, I can remember distinctly deciding that I wanted to be an atheist, which is really funny now because I didn't really fully understand what it meant. And yeah, and it was really just based so much on that one traumatic event, and yeah, it just seems a bit silly now. So I kind of spent the first 30 years of my life just unaware, unsure, kind of like I was sleepwalking. And one day, while I was sleepwalking, almost as though I like stubbed my toe, and it was like super, super painful, I woke up and I had this really gnawing feeling, and this gnawing feeling was saying, Cameron, question the trees, and question the flowers, and question the sky, and my body, and my mother, and the mountains, and the sky, and it was, yeah, just like really, really look at reality, you know. It was like this reality check, but like reality. I can't describe it any other. I know you all know what I'm saying. Reality. Yeah. So that was that experience. So yeah, I think I had always put this off. You know, I'd always put this off because I was terrified of what I was going to find. And I remember, like, one time when I was younger, being told how many stars there were in the sky, and just being so afraid because I felt so insignificant. And then I remember contemplating the idea of the cosmos when they came into existence billions of years ago, and then thinking, well, what happened before that? Like, when did time start? And then I would really recoil at that thought because I was worried that it felt impossible. Yeah, and I guess I just decided that things were probably meaningless, and so I would be an atheist, and I would keep on sabotaging my life with destructive behavior because somewhere deep down inside, those ideas felt too painful to come to terms with. They felt too complex. And so, when I metaphorically stubbed my toe whilst I was sleepwalking, it was because I was crying for a few days. And I decided to stop drinking, and I decided to give up anything that was numbing. And I'd never been to meditation class before. I'd never meditated before a day in my life. But something inside me just told me to sit and to close my eyes and just be with that. And I did, and it was just space. Like there was no thoughts, there was nothing. It was just this pure awareness, and it was really profound. And it's something that I think about kind of on a daily basis was that moment. And I was lucky enough to have gone to university with Jack, and I remember that he'd been talking about going to meditation class, and so I came along, and I'm really glad that I did. And so, what does meditation mean to me? For me, it's always been an opportunity to get to know myself. And I kind of mean this on two levels. The first one is this awareness that I'm talking about, which still feels very new, very exciting. It's like a new relationship. And then the second level is these behaviors and these tendencies, these likes, dislikes, these resentments, actions, this like flurry of 100,000 thoughts per day that really used to run the show, and like sometimes still do, let's be honest. So yeah, when I started meditating, I began to be able to distill these parts of myself and understand what thoughts were. And the knowledge that those thoughts don't rule me, it just really completely transformed my relationships. It's really deepened my compassion for people. It's given me, it's given me more joy in my life. And it allowed me to sort of connect with this consciousness. And because I was able to do that, I've been able to acknowledge the beauty of other people's consciousness. And so it just creates this kind of unspoken connectedness, which has become really, really important to me. And so now, when I'm thinking about the stars and the infinite number of them, rather than recoiling, it really makes me feel like expanding. And sometimes it's a bit painful to think that I spent so much time sleepwalking. It's almost like, when like a kid or somebody puts like a note on your back and it's there and it's like so close and the answer is right there. That's sort of what it feels like. And like all I had to do was kind of like, oh yeah, that's right. It's right there. And I guess my practice has become almost like this little training arena where I get to go and kind of better understand my life, almost like I'm becoming a superhero. So I get to like sharpen my senses against the hindrances and cultivate this glowing heart container of compassion, to sort of prepare me off the cushion. Sometimes I think of it that way, and I really like that. Yeah, and I guess just to sort of wrap up my meditation, it's become a faith that all of this has a deeper purpose for me, and I'm really grateful for all of the tools that it's given me to navigate reality.
Great. Oh, what a journey. Thanks, Cam. Yeah, really good. Really good. Thank you. Okay, so let's take a deep dive into these wisdom practices. We've been talking about wisdom practices as ways of turning towards aspects of your experience in a way with a very particular kind of lens, in order to see how things really are, so we're moving away from this kind of common sense, habitual way of relating to life and kind of picking up these lenses and to seeing how things are as viewed through these lenses, to see if that feels more kind of real. So we can see directly for ourselves. That's really, really important, that we see them directly for ourselves. Although we're doing this over 2 weeks, these wisdom practices are unpacked over a lifetime. Just wanted to caveat, we're not kind of going to get a wisdom certificate or something after 2 weeks. It's kind of unpacked over a lifetime, checked out over a lifetime. and or maybe more than one lifetime, maybe several lifetimes, maybe many lifetimes. So that having been said, we need a basis in which to turn into our experience, and a basis in which to investigate our experience from. And that's why we've been getting into awareness. That's why we cultivating metta. As they're revolutionary practices in themselves, this heart opening, becoming more conscious of oneself, but more conscious of others. But they also give the foundation to turn into your experience in particular ways. Yeah? So these wisdom practices are embodied practices. They're not cognitive exercises. It's really important to point that out. And if there is a sense of kind of headiness creeping into practice as we're doing it, you need to come back into your body. And if there's a sense of kind of overwhelm or like a recoil, as you were describing it, then you need to come back to metta. Yeah? So you don't just keep pressing away and getting into difficult states. Yeah? What we're really looking for, if it's working, is a sense of opening, a sense of freedom, a sense of something, even mystery, kind of unfolding, yeah, as a result of practice. So the reason we've been doing this dukkha practice, as I said, is not to depress ourselves that everything's terrible. There's several reasons why we should bother to do this. Yeah? The first thing is that it can give you this kind of positive disillusionment. What I mean by that is that the ways we normally relate to things, our habitual ways of relating to things, we start to see the unsatisfactoriness of that. They don't give us quite what we want, or they don't give us a kind of what we want in the kind of ways we want them to, if you see what I mean. So that's the first thing. So that's really helpful in itself. So where do we kind of place our heart then? Where do we put our energy? Where do we put our kind of life? And then there's this sense of something more to life. So as we relax this clinging, something new, kind of deeper consciousness can open up. Something that's quite ungraspable. So it almost feels like you're kind of start to cooperate with life more. You start to sense the interconnectedness of, well, inside and outside for a start to see how that's related. And you get this sense of things being fleeting in flux. So that, you know, holding on to them is dukkha. We'll still do it, but we can start to get at that more quickly, get at that, the painfulness of holding things in a particular way. So yeah, as I say, it's not a nihilist teaching, definitely not a nihilist teaching. It's not that everything is dukkha. What we're trying to get towards is this sense of release from the clinging, so that we can do that with kind of love and acceptance and open up, as I said, to what can come as a result of that. But yeah, it's very easy to close down to that. Gosh, it's so easy to forget. It's so easy to close down. Normally, I talk for myself, but I think I can fairly confidently talk for all of you guys as well, is that we concern ourselves with trivia all day long, the trivia of our minds mostly, pleasures, kind of our to-do lists, petty kind of grievances, etc., problems. And occasionally, we stub our toe. I thought that's a really good analogy. Occasionally we stub our toe, or it feels more than a stub of the toe. Sometimes there's a bereavement, or we lose a job, or a relationship breaks down, and suddenly there's this opportunity. Oh gosh, I thought everything was just kind of rolling in a certain way, a kind of certain sense of permanence had entered into our ideas about things. And if you can reflect on that from this lens of unsatisfactoriness, you can look at the dukkha, you can see, God, how invested you've been in these situations and see into impermanence. And then things can change, basically. Well, they're always changing, but you're just allowing them to change. You feel the change. We kind of know that. We kind of just all know that. We just all know it, don't we? There's all these little beautiful images in Buddhism. There's this one little verse about see this life as a dewdrop, as a rainbow, a splash of water, clouds, dreams. We kind of know that things are. If we look back on our life, we see that, don't we? All our memories kind of like it all just run through our fingers, and we take it so seriously, don't we? Take it also kind of seriously in the kind of wrong way, because because of this grasping. So at this stage, I think it's really important to point out that doesn't mean we can't care. I think we can care very, very deeply. In fact, we can care more deeply from this perspective. So, in meditation, it's a real opportunity. We can see, if we can kind of allow this knowledge of transience to kind of sink into our kind of bones, so to speak, kind of sink into the kind of our perspective. We can just stop grasping so tightly. There's that relationship there. So all our stories, problems, all our cares, we start to see there's nothing outside of this change. It's not like this problem is outside of it, but everything else is inside. No, it's all in there. I was talking to this older member in part of my work is set up kind of fundraising events between different sanghas. And I was talking to Karma Vajra in India, one of our Indian order members I think he's in Nagpur. And people have just been dying out there. They've been dying. They lost 20 order members in the last month. They've lost lots of mitras, and it's really horrible. And I was talking to him, and I was just like, but we've been raising all this money for you. And he said, yeah, but there's just no oxygen. You can't get oxygen, and for love or money, And I just suddenly felt really depressed. I was just like, oh God, well, what's going to happen? And he just kind of chuckled. He said it would change. He just said it would change, and I just thought, oh my God, there's practice, He's right in the middle. He knows these people, You can see it kind of affecting me. So that just felt to me like a real embodiment of this sense of impermanence, that he cares deeply, but he can see that things are going to change. That allowed a kind of, I suppose, an optimism or kind of confidence somehow. So sort of these facts of impermanence are everywhere, as I've said, and they extend into our sense of our selfhood, our sense of our identity that we build up so kind of carefully and methodically in a way. And primarily, the story we weave about ourselves fix us. They fix us. I'm like this, I'm like that. This is mine, this is not mine, this is yours. It's all kind of fixes us. But it's just not like that. It's all provisional and subject to change. And we are changing, aren't we? We're changing year on year. day by day, even moment by moment. That's where meditation comes. You can just see the effervescence and change in our minds, you know. And yeah, there's a sense of continuity, isn't there? And there's a sense of continuity because each moment is conditioned by the last moment. So there is a sense of continuity. It's us that we're not just living in this kind of fractured, chaotic world. Everything is conditioned by what's just come before. So as I said, we watch our minds in meditation. We can see that there is never a moment that isn't change, and we can see stories about ourselves. About our self-worth, about our successes, our failures, and stories about others. Lot of stories about others, isn't there? That's all can be included in the lens of impermanence. So what we're going to do in this guided meditation is we're going to really feel into the changeable nature of our experience. We're going to feel into our body sensation. We can just keep softening, keep relaxing, and then we'll start to just gently turn into the transience of our experience. So we'll start to kind of take areas of our experience, our body, heart, our minds, the thoughts that are going on, and we'll just apply this lens of impermanence. And when we come to the body, one useful thing that I've been working with is kind of seeing it just as a kind of this cloud of energy. It's a bit more like how it is, actually. When you've got your eyes closed, it's more like a cloud of energy than it is arms, legs, head, etc. Yeah? It's these kind of constellations of energy vibrating, shifting, effervescent. And we can notice that in the body, we can notice that in this kind of centre of our emotions, in our heart. And as I said, we can notice that in the thoughts, and particularly the stories that we might be weaving. And what I'm going to get us, and this is really important, what I'm going to get us to look out for is any emergent sense of freedom and release that comes from this way of looking. So just checking, and if that isn't kind of happening, if it feels like you're kind of forcing something, or it's getting a bit heavy, or it's getting a bit overwhelming, things are tightening up, you can just relax and put that lens down for a little bit. So it's a light touch. It's like homeopathy. Never quite believed in homeopathy, but it'd be really tricky. Anyway, it's a couple of drops. You know, you just add a bit in, and then you just see what result that's having to the kind of broader sense of yourself. Okay, so let's have a go. So, just settling down again. Just noticing again the sound around you, space around you. And almost, as it were, contained within this space, these sensations of our bodies. And again, just feeling that contact with the ground. That sense of that more alive set of sensations, feeling of contact. It's almost like a buzz, or I feel a slight vibration. Just starting to let go. Just starting to let go the holding in your body. Letting go in the tummy. The shoulders. Just softening. Just allowing your gaze to soften. Now the forehead to smooth. Just letting go of the jaw, around the mouth. Just if you want to feel the breath, you might want to just come back to the breath through the meditation, just changing momentum of the breath. You might want to just choose a particular part of the body feels most alive. Experiencing through this lens of change, you can find vibration, texture, shifting, changing sensations of the body. Just keep softening in the body. You bring in metta, sense of well-being to bear. Really for any sense of change and release. This way of looking. Bringing in awareness to the area of the chest, heart centre, centre of the emotions. Feeling into that area, tending to it, and noticing the changeable quality, the sensations in the heart centre. Keep softening, relaxing, letting in metta. Whether the heart centre feels blank, open or closed. Just change. Part of change. We're not pushing for a particular experience. You can feel into the body, to the heart. Just noticing any narratives that are going on. Any narratives about what's happening. Just change. Any ideas about what's happening, just provisional. Change. And just keep softening in the body, letting in metta, and now getting a sense of a broad experience. Body as this cloud of energy, filled with energy, emotions, thoughts, narratives. Nothing solid. Change. Keep softening in the body. And just dropping this lens of impermanence. Just letting it go and being with however things are just now. Feeling the weight of the body. Feel the support, the crown. And feeling into the atmosphere around you. Sense of connection. Yourself, to others. Okay, good. So, yeah, really delighted. I'm just because next week we're going to open the doors to the Monday night class to people that aren't the team. So we've been starting to gather down here for a while now. But now with these conditions are such that we can start to open up to limited numbers. We're going to have a booking system. We have got a booking system set up, and I think Elaine's going to be just putting the link up to that. So I think we've got kind of 8-10 places that you can come. So you can come down and meditate together with the team and kind of partake in the atmosphere of being around real people, which does make, is incredible support to meditation. So we're going to be, from next week, we're going to be letting the second half, the Zoom second half go. Everything's impermanent, so we'll let that go. So that's going to be no longer, and we're going to have a second half here in person without the cameras. So the first half is going to be with the cameras, kind of familiar format. The second half, after a tea break, we'll have the cameras off, tea break, and then we'll have a chance to have a second sit and also have a bit of an exploration between us of the practices that we're getting into. And how, so yeah, really good opportunity to then just kind of relax into a second half, in-person second half. So that's how we'll be doing Monday starting from next week. So yeah, do book on. Be really pleased to see people down there. If you're brand new, fantastic. If you've been on the challenge, great to see you. Be great to see you down here. So welcome. It's open to anybody. So all welcome. So yeah, do book yourself in for that next week. So yeah, if you have been on the challenge, I suppose this is an invitation now to, if you've appreciated being part of the community and meditating together, and felt that in your life, changes of that in your life, vibrations of that in your life, then we'd really welcome you to give, so that we can allow more and more people to touch into that. That's what we want to do. So start next week with this opening up. That's what we want to do. We want to open up and let everybody, as many people as interested, touch into these practices and this sense of community. So yeah, do give, and if you can, do give generously. We've got people that we support within the community full time to work behind the scenes and get everything arranged, organised, set up with all the rental and so on. A lot of our activities voluntary, as you probably know. A lot of time and energy is voluntary, but we do need money in order to start to expand back out now. We really need money to help that process and to fund that process. So do give generously if you can, if you move to, and I think you put the link up for that. Yeah, great, thank you. So that's all I wanted to say for the live stream. And then now in the second half we'll have the last, so do come on here because it's going to be like, you'll be able to tell your grandchildren you're on the last Zoom. Let's hope. I mean, it's all provisional, right? But yeah, we're hoping that this is going to be the direction that we're going to be taking the class in. So do come on the second half with me. I'll be getting on that in a second. It'll probably take me a couple of minutes to set up, but do just click right in. And once you've clicked in, you can take yourself off from if you need to get for a toilet break, etc. But yeah, just click straight on the link and join me for the second half. And what we'll be doing is we'll just be exploring how meditation's been going, particularly these wisdom practices. I've got a few questions that might probe into some of these and maybe help get a sense of what's going on. So yeah, join me in the second half. But for now, thanks very much to Cam for his talk, fantastic. Thanks to the team for being here. Thanks to Elena for being in the team. And see you shortly.